To what you call it. The boy got Bad Boys for Life as a favorite.
Who?
I don't know.
That was my favorite one.
The third one?
Wait, what do you? Oh, that was.
I didn't even.
It just popped up.
Yeah, I just got it too.
Yeah.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and
Shalom.
foremost, before we begin this lesson, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh.
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakakadash.
The honors be to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. All right, peace, blessing, salutations be to the hopefully elect. So, the lesson topic that we're going to go into is money can only do so much. Now, the important thing to say before we even go into any precepts is when we're talking about money in this particular lesson, we're talking about what people regard as money today, not money back in 3,000 years ago. We're talking about specifically the FRN, the fiat currency known as the U.S. dollar. So the first thing we really go to is Proverbs 11.
All right. Proverbs 11.
There's two in there.
Come on.
Because at the end of the day, the one who brings forth judgment and death, the one who brings forth life and death, omnipotency, is Yahweh Shemal Shai. Right? So money has nothing to do with your salvation. It's up to the Lord whether you get saved or not. So instead of trying to chase a bag with holes, you want to pursue after pleasing the Most High, which is following His law, statute, commandments to the best of your ability. Which really essentially just goes into effort and sincerity. The Lord's not expecting you to keep all the laws perfectly. The Lord is not expecting you to donate $1 million to the apostles. The Lord is just expecting you to show that you actually care about Him. And about his fellows, his servants, your fellow kinsmen.
Proverbs 11:4. This is one. All right. Yeah, Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death.
So you can ask Jacob Rothschild about that. Somebody get Amos 9:2. We talked about this before at camp. So you can ask him about that. Because he'll tell you. Well, he won't tell you because he's prideful.
Yeah.
But he should tell you that it can't help him because he is the whole planet. He doesn't even have the US dollar. He has literal currency. But yet he's still going in the favor. Yet he's not going to die with an easy way out. He's going to be saved as a first fruit of slavery because it's the Most High's will. And then going into doomsday preppers, which of course you got to have money to do that shit. And that's great. You got your own land, and you got a doomsday bunker, and now you over here open up a pack of peanuts, you slip on the wrapper, break your neck. Now what? Money can't save you, bro. Literally.
It's like I have something I want to get real quick before that. Since you just said that, this is Zechariah chapter 12, verse. Actually, no, it's like 14. He talks about where's it at? Okay, go ahead. It's like
I got the Amos 9:2 whenever you're ready.
Go ahead.
All right, this book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them.
Which is talking about the ground. Go ahead.
Though they climb up to heaven,
Space stations.
thence will I bring them down.
Right. And you need to have money to have those type of things. To have especially to go to a space station.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't got nobody that you just text on WhatsApp like, yeah, I'm about to go to space next week. Nobody does that. People hardly talk about going out of the U.S., let alone going to outer space. So you clearly have to have not only money, but just like in 2012, you got to have a certain type of status to get in something like that. You see?
oh,
But even then, they're like I said, the Lord said He's going to bring them down. It doesn't matter where you go. And they have all the money in the world. So Jake over here with $2K in the bank, thinking that it's cool, and then bank closed down and can't get you cash.
Yeah, because which all these people put trust in the system because most banks that you go to, they're backed by it's FDIC or FD, some shit like that.
Like 250.
But yeah, you're guaranteed to, you're quote unquote guaranteed to 250,000 if this bank is closed down. But this is the thing: if you have 200 members of that bank, and that's just one bank, that bank alone doesn't have $1 million in the goddamn stash, man. So 4 people, if 4 people is to have that, they're not going to be able to come in and get their money. It's going to be really on a first come first serve type basis. So you're going to ultimately be shit out of luck with these banks if well, not even if, but when that is to happen, because people going to try and go pull out all their money, and it's not going to work like that.
It's like their ATMs as well. There's not a lot of money in ATMs. People think there's like millions of dollars in the ATM.
You rob an ATM on average, you're probably going to get 1,000 to 2,000, because you can pull out. Most banks have a limit as far as how much you can pull out.
Like 300.
So you can probably pull out like 500 max, 600 max. So there's not much money in these damn ATMs. So how so much is in the actual bank?
Yeah.
These niggas-
Everybody rushing to the bank to grab the money is going to cause nothing but bloodshed and rioting anyways.
Right.
And on top of that, let's say you do get all this money out that most Jake don't fucking have. But let's say you're an Edomite, you get all this money out, and then the only way you can buy is with the chip. So everything that you have in your wallet is worth absolutely nothing.
Because real quick, they because like you said, it's worth nothing. Go ahead, because I'm gonna get this.
Well, I got
This article.
this. I actually found it. This is Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Right. So, which essentially, because the ultimate plague is nuclear destruction. So even if you do have money and you have some sort of status in society in America, all that can do is prolong your life. It's not going to make you escape destruction. It's just going to get you to the time of nuclear destruction. Because you're going to be able to escape famine and martial law, and all, especially if you take the chip, you can form in the beast. It's going to be smooth sailing. But then once those missiles come, stop that from coming. So you're going to be done. But it's like gold or silver is going to deliver you. And I think it was in the 1920s that they got rid of that. So that's why when you try to buy gold now, it's thousands of dollars for an ounce.
That's what I was trying to find.
So it's not even that's gold and silver. That actually has value. That's actually something that you can get a lot of money off if you find under your bed. This is not. The only reason the US dollar still has value is because the US still has power, military might. The iron, the modern day Iron Teeth, because originally it was talking about Rome, but we know this is Rome revived. So that scares people to believe that it has value, because essentially the US dollar, especially when you look at your bank, Esau determines whether you have $86, $100, or whatever. All you can see it is on an app. But how is that any different from a fucking video game? It's not. You're just transferring virtual numbers to something else. It's not actually a currency, bro.
These other countries are not dealing with the US dollar too. That also shows that we're getting close to it being that's going to be able to crash real soon. We're getting close to that because of how, like the brother is saying, there's no value behind this quote unquote monopoly money. There's no value. When there's something that's not valuable, you can't sell it. You can't get rid of it. You can't use it because it has no value.
Got a precept if you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I got it's Book of Psalms, chapter 33. I'm reading 16 down to the 21st verse. So the Psalm 33 start at verse 16. There is no king save by the multitude of an host. So it doesn't matter how large America, Babylon, the great army is. Doesn't matter how much money they put in this infrastructure bill, how much money, billions of dollars they put into this military. Doesn't matter how much money they put into this space force. Scripture said there is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. So it doesn't matter how strong you are. You're not delivered by those carnal means. You're not delivered by that fiat currency. You're not delivered by none of those things. Verse 17, and horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Even the horse, he can't deliver by his great strength. A horse got a lot of strength. That goes into power as well. The power that Esau Edom has, the power of that dollar around, because it's the standard of the world. They back the price of oil by the US dollar. So hey, this damn devil, doesn't matter how much power, influence he has in this earth, he's not delivered by the strength that he has. Verse 18, behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. Verse 19, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. So by the elect having their trust in the Lord, that's how you get delivered. You don't get delivered by FRN notes. You don't get delivered by having the biggest army. None of those things can deliver you. Verse 20, our soul waiteth for Yahweh. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him because we have trusted in his holy name. That's cut on IUIC. By us trusting in his holy name, hey, the nation Israel, they're going to get delivered. They're going to be delivered from famine because it said they trusted in his holy name. They didn't trust in, what they say, Jesus the Christ or whatever thing, most high in Christ. That's what they say.
Yeah, most high in Christ be blessed.
Yeah, so, but yeah, you got it, brother.
What did you want something else in Proverbs 11?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's like 20 something.
Okay, 28. Proverbs 11 and 28. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch.
Which righteousness goes into application. A lot of people that have, because Yahweh Shai said it, it's not likely for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. And that's why you have people like Cam Newton that decide to take the fucking Satan serum because he's a bitch. Really. And that's because it's crazy how we're not even at to the point where you're going to get put to death. You got guys that got millions of dollars, so realistically, if they know how to use their money, they're set for life. He wants to take the damn, the damn jab. That proves the point. That's somebody trusting in riches. That's somebody trusting in, Esau Edom's system, which is only going to get so far because the beginning of Jacob is the end of Esau. So eventually, at some point in the near future, Esau's system is going to fail. And it's going to start, especially with that dollar. And that's all, systematically set up so he can bring forth that chip. So he can brand you permanently, physically, as his slave. Just like they did back in the ancient times. Nebuchadnezzar with that idol, with that statue. And if you didn't want to worship the statue, after hearing all the instruments, you were thrown into the fiery furnace. Well, it's the same thing now. Once you hear all these decrees, unrighteous decrees brought forth, and you don't want to bow down to the beast system, you're going to be beheaded. It's no different. Nothing new under the sun. There's a reason why it says that. It also tells you that in Romans 15:4, these things are written for our learning. So it tells us in the scriptures, thousands of years before it happened, that money ain't going to save you, but you still got people that neglect the knowledge of the scriptures. And that's why they trusted in their money.
Yeah, and I'll get this real quick. Because you said about you tapped into just an example, Cam Newton, which he's not the richest nigga on the earth, but the definition of rich is having a great deal of money or assets, wealthy. So he has a great deal of assets because he's in the NFL. He signed those contracts. The nigga got bread. He got more money than us. You know, he's not concerned about bills or things like that. All right, even though the curse is just going to hit him in a different manner. But nonetheless, Matthew 19, and I'll start at verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is one good but one, that is the Most High. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, Which? Yahushua said, Thou shalt not do murder, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man saith unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? And this is the point getting into this. Yahushua said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. So he wasn't willing to give it up what he had. And that's the one of the main and biggest indicators that separates most Israelite men from this truth, because they have all these great possessions in the earth. This is why, brothers don't get excited no more when you hear this one random rapping nigga talking about he an Israelite, or some random ass celebrity. DC Young Fly, the most recent that I know of, talking about he an Israelite. Fuck that nigga, because he's, at the end of the day, he not going out to the camp. He's still going to do concerts and shit like that. He's still probably smoking weed. So if you're not coming back and actually being sincere with it, then it's to no point. All right. And I'm going to get this. It's verse 23. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And that's the thing, man. Okay, it's very hard for a rich man, especially in this society, to be able to enter into the kingdom, because they're not willing to give up the stuff that they have. Right. Imagine a nigga like Floyd Mayweather. This nigga got 10 black luxury cars. Right. Ironically too, they're black. This nigga nothing but negative, but he's not gonna give that stuff up. He's not gonna give that shit up. None of these niggas are gonna give it up, man. So that's why they're ultimately through. They're gonna be finished.
If I may add, there's two scriptures. First one is Romans 12:1, represent your body as a living sacrifice. These celebrities are not gonna do that. They're not ready to get out there on the streets and be told that they look crazy and they look like niggas with bed sheets.
You seen what happened when Nick Cannon tried to stand up for himself, or really for the nation, if you will, and they took that nigga's show. And what he do? That nigga went on an apology tour.
Show back.
Even Kevin Hart, because he mentioned the ABC group years ago, and that was the reason why he couldn't host the Emmys or some shit like that, or
Oscars.
The Oscars, come out the water. So he was supposed to be the host of the Oscars, but they said, you gotta apologize. He's like, I ain't doing it. So he ended up not hosting the Oscars, but the nigga still ended up apologizing. So these people, they have deep ties within this earth. They're not able to do the things that we do. And we're only able to do these things through the spirit of Yahweh Shemashai. The spirit is on us to where, hey, nothing is gonna, the scriptures talk about it's like, I'm about to give it back to you, bro. But the scriptures talk about what shall separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai, man. And it gives you a decent list. And at the end, it says what? Nothing is going to separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai. You see? So these people don't have that. They're allowing everything else to get in between them and the Most High. We're not we don't have nothing to lose. Even considering our lives, as the brother quoted in Romans the 12th chapter, giving our bodies as a living sacrifice. We have nothing to lose, man. So that's why we're not concerned about it.
The scriptures even also say you can't serve two masters. You can't be half in the truth, and the other foot is worrying about your riches, man. That's in the world. You're gonna serve the so-called white man. You're gonna serve this world, or you're gonna serve Yahweh Shai. The scriptures also say, "It comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." There's a lot of things you got to give up when preaching Yahweh by Shem Shai, teaching and repenting Yahweh by Shem Shai.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of these celebrities can't do. All right, they can't lose their $5 million contract. They can't lose that. They're like, man, I just got out the hood. I can't go right back. You know, lack of faith as well.
If you're right, because if you trust in the Lord, you're not going to go back to the hood. Man. You're still going to be taken care of. It's just not going to be on that type of level. You had, like I said, you brothers. That's the whole point of sacrifice, because we all had. We're Jakes. We all had the opportunity to go and be some successful ass nigga in the earth. Brothers are very talented, man. Brothers are business minded. Brothers know what the hell, a brother can run a business from the ground up and become a multi-millionaire easily. Brothers are talented. They may be able to play sports, do music, so on and so forth. Not to say it's easy, but it wouldn't be necessarily hard to do.
Well, there's brothers in this truth that used to be famous football players and working in the music industry, and they're artists of right now.
Yeah.
But they put that aside for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom.
I had a good quick precept. If nobody else didn't have one.
Go ahead.
I wanted to
Go ahead.
guarantee it's about to slide to something different. You mentioned DC Young Fly.
Yeah.
Brothers talking about that's an example of lukewarm, which is like during the winter time, if you keep going in and out the house, your parents would yell at you because you're letting all the heat out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't decide if you want to be inside or you want to be outside, and before you know it, it's going to get cold in the room.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit leaving because you're not in the house. You want to go outside and fuck around. Knowing it's too damn cold out there, man. And that's what that nigga's doing.
Because look at Kodak as a prime example. He was on that shit heavy. And he got locked up, and lawyers and him did whatever they had to do. And now he got out. He's a complete nigga. Got more tattoos. Got back to the wicks. He ain't talking about Jesus. He still proclaims himself to be an Israelite. He still knows that he's from Levi. But for one, he's an Israelite with them rats, them gutter rats. He's going to the rabbis and shit like that. Because he said, hey, I'm Jewish. You know what I'm saying? And he's the prime example. Even Kendrick Lamar. That nigga said it one time, and that was it. Now this nigga's off the earth. Let me drop some music, bitch ass nigga. But go ahead. Or Salaki, you had a precept?
Yeah, this going into it ties into the Cam Newtons, the Nick Cannons, Kodak Black, all of these guys. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thy way to seek love? So here it is. Nick Cannon's a prime example. Here it is. If you're in this truth, you got to stand on what you believe, no matter who it offends. As long as you come in precept upon precept, you can't trim your way to seek love. So what happened to him? He got his show back because he trimmed his way to seek love. Cam Newton, he went and took the jab. What was he standing on? What was his reason why he didn't take the jab? It couldn't have been the scriptures. Maybe it was just a random post on YouTube. And he's like, man, fuck that post I seen on YouTube. I don't know what them niggas was talking about. Go ahead.
And one nigga that's still holding his own is Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie,
he might got a few more precepts.
I'm shocked. And he going strong in this shit. He's like, man, I'm not taking that shit. So
there'll be people like that.
And
everybody's gonna fucking over.
Right, and we'll see as time progresses. And Lord's will, he does, come back or come to the truth.
Bar made a video on that a little bit ago now, talking about secret disciple.
Yeah.
People that have a high status, but they actually believe. We had people, back then, like the man that had
that paid for the burial.
Joseph of Arimathea. Yeah, he had a lot of things.
Yeah.
He had Yahushua buried in his tomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Nicodemus. He came to Yahushua at night. So you're gonna have guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's a fucking, like we talked about before. Not everybody's a damn sellout. Not everybody's a coon nigga bitch. Not everybody's gonna fucking fold when a paperclip hit him. You know what I'm saying?
And shit, and you gotta be mindful of that too. Like you said, everybody ain't gonna be like that. You gonna have Jake that's in the truth falling out faster than Kyrie. Folding faster than Kyrie did. Which you already had some examples. With I know it was that one dude in IUIC who said he took a jab because of the mandate or some shit, and he said he felt like the spirit left him. He folded faster than Kyrie, and he ain't got nowhere near Kyrie's money. So not to say it's understandable when them rich niggas fold, but we know why they would fold, because they worried about the possessions. But here it is, you a low life man. Essentially, you have nothing, and you folding. Niggas folding over nothing, man. Right. You still gonna be in ramen noodles with a damn jab.
Right, because we're not even at the hard part yet. Brothers can still go home and take a nice nap and take a nice shower and eat a nice meal. But when that time comes, it's hard to do this and hard to do that because you don't have the jab. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when the chip comes into play? What are you gonna do, man, when you start to really be uncomfortable? That's why Apostle DeBar said a while back, we need to be uncomfortable. Learning to be uncomfortable, not be too comfortable. Because when you're too comfortable, you start to slip away from what you do. All right, because that's the problem with our people. People are too comfortable living here in Babylon the Great. All right, because they got a little money going in, they got a lot of flow, they got a flow going in, they got a nice little family, the mama happy wife, happy life, you're comfortable. And then when you see it start to get that taken away from you, you're hurt. But when they hit you with this, what do they give you? Ultimatum? What's that the right word? Ultimatum. Yeah, ultimatum. Hey, take this, you won't touch your children. Take this, you won't take your house. When Jake hears stuff like that, my mama, my family, my wife, my clothes, my shoes, hey, they're gonna fold, man. What do I gotta do to keep my shit? We already know how Jake is. Jake will do anything to keep shit. But I had a precept real quick.
God, and real quick, the brother said there's a video of Kodak Black getting saved by a Christian pastor 2 months ago. So that nigga threw, man.
Now I remember the video. He was praying with him.
I think I do. Matter of fact,
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I do, because I think
he went back. He got out and got back on his Jesus shit.
Yeah, I think he went live. He was live when he was doing that shit.
So why you need to be live?
Yeah.
Just do that in your own time.
And it's like, man, I'm like, this nigga right here, he was the biggest Israelite before you went up to jail and shit. But nonetheless, fuck that nigga. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 7:12. We're not saying that it's a bad thing to have money.
That's the spirit. That's what I had. So go ahead.
All right, I'll just get to explain after. Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So it's not a problem having money in your account. You saving money. There's nothing wrong with that. You going to work, making money. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the point when you're money hungry type of guy. Where's like money, man? Money, I need money. Run that bag up.
And you turn to Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, that Mr.
Y'all went out. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me, but I can't see y'all. Give a second. Wait and see if they come back in. One second. All right, y'all back. Could y'all hear me speaking when y'all went out?
I think that's probably Quran.
Yeah.
Shalom.
I think how y'all's talking.
No, I'm saying, could y'all hear me speaking when y'all?
Okay, Khan. It's like it. Connection. Finish it. Read that again. We found out.
Let's see.
7 and 12. Like the brother was saying,
I don't know if he can hear it. I'm saying I don't know if he's talking. Slacky, if brothers can hear us, say con in the comment section if you can hear us.
Bro's trying to get their connection squared away on their end. So bear with us.
We should be good now.
Con, Lord's will. Can you hear me? All right, Con. Yeah, Salaki, Akim, Satan, you know, that nigga don't take no breaks, so we got to clock back in too. Yeah, get that precept. But we'll just get some precepts and wrap it up. I mean, the point really made anyway, but go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So, like I said, real quick, there's nothing wrong with having money, there's nothing wrong with making money. The problem is when you just put your time and effort, money constantly. You don't put it towards Yahweh Shema Shai at all. You money, you got that Mr. Crab spirit, that money spirit.
Yeah.
You know, understand you got bills, you got kids, whatever. Handle your business. Just don't let that shit consume you. And that's all that you care and worry about. But go ahead.
That's something too that you constantly hear in music and things like that. People getting consumed by money. And people even try to quote the scripture, money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Which is why the title says money can only do so much, meaning it can do things for you.
Right.
Like I said, it's a defense. But is it a defense in the end times when hell breaks loose? No, it's not. It's a defense now because we use the world and not abuse it.
Right.
But pretty soon there is going to be no using the world unless you're going to be off and commit sin. That's the only way you're going to be able to use the world is with that chip. And that's when it's not going to be profitable anymore to have money. It's going to be profitable to have faith. To have wisdom. Because which that really can be the closer. Isaiah 33 and 6.
Okay, if I may just say off that last precept, y'all, when I had the beginning of that Ecclesiastes, I think 7 and 12.
Yeah, it's 7 and 12.
Yeah.
It said wisdom is a defense first. Then it said So the wisdom, then money. Wisdom defense, money defense. So if you got the Lord, he set it up beautiful. Wisdom, then money. Not money and wisdom, wisdom, then money. So if you got the wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures, you should know how to utilize that money for that defense. But if you got the wisdom, knowledge of this world, guess what? That money ain't gonna you're not using it for defense. You're using it to, just for whatever niggas like to do with it.
Your investments are going to be all dumb. They're
Mhm.
not going to yield any beneficial or any fruit.
Oh.
You're going to end up just losing. You got anything?
No, that's all I
Okay.
had.
I got the Isaiah 33.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Right. Wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of thy times. I mean, it's stable. Because, it talks about when Yahushua spoke about foundation being built upon a rock or built upon sand, which that clearly shows that you need to have the sound doctrine, first of all, because it tells you in Galatians, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. And the foundation needs to be stable. It needs to be set up correctly. Otherwise, everything built on top of it is going to be fucked up. Measurements are going to be off, and it probably will collapse, especially when the right storm comes. So you need to make sure that your foundation is built upon a rock. And that wisdom and knowledge is going into how you maneuver rather than just knowing, certain things. Because like we talk about, with a lot of the breakdowns, things like that, a lot of it is, past history.
Yeah.
It's really talking about the things that you apply, especially knowing what the mark of the beast is. That's a big thing right there. Understanding that the scriptures tell you to be willing to sacrifice everything. That's part of it being, a stabilizer.
Yeah.
Because that when the time comes, I need to give it up. And nobody is telling you that you might lose your car and your house and your job. We're guaranteeing that.
Yeah.
It is guaranteed. It's not a possibility. It is guaranteed, bro. So you need to prepare. And that's what the scriptures do, is prepare you. That's all the scriptures are ultimately for, is to, show you the ways to serve the Lord and to prepare your mind for Jacob's trouble, for the end times. Because believe me, believe the scriptures, you need preparation for that.
Yeah.
Because you just come straight off the boat talking about let's do it, you're through. You need practice, man. And this is that practice. This is the boot camp. So there you go. Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right. So Lord will let this was edifying to the elect. We're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh. Double honors be to our apostles, our elders, great and most going to roll well. Peace, blessing, society, to be the hopefully elect. That says Shalom, Waffle Shalom.
So.
Shalom.